Welcome to another Q View here on Studio Q. I'm Michael, and with me are, yes, bottom of the barrel regulars, Erica.
I beg your pardon.
And Kris. Welcome again.
Welcome back.
Hello.
And look, so much has happened since our filming late last year.
Tons.
We've been on a bit of hiatus, and I just wanted to ask you both, like, speaking of sport, before we get right into the Com Games and the whole traffic fiasco.
Oh, well, but it's going to be.
Is there such a thing as a gay sport? Like, would you say, oh, that's gay?
I don't know. What's the criteria for something like
Well,
that?
Narrow that down a bit.
You could say, like, well, I know there's a lot of gay groups. There's the Argonauts, there's the water polo, but you wouldn't say, oh, that's a gay sport.
It's not a gay sport. It's a sport played by a predominantly gay team.
No. So there's no. I wouldn't say there's anything more
define gay
popular.
sport.
Well, let's just stick. There isn't real. I mean, there's all the AFL watchers, right? But,
Yeah.
I mean, I reckon half the puffs who watch the AFL turn down the sound and do other things.
Exactly right.
It's just a perv thing.
That's right. It's a perv fest.
Definitely.
See those
Perv
boys
fest.
running
and
around.
And rugby. I mean, what's that all about?
Well, it's G-rated porn is what it is.
What about gridiron? Because they wear helmets, padding, and tights.
They do, rather.
I'd rather like the type.
And they hug
It
lots.
hides everything else. They just
Yeah.
look
Blokes
like,
them
you
up
know.
in big
Yeah, they're
plastic
kind of
machines.
just like big boxes with skinny little legs
Yes.
running
Yeah,
out.
gorillas
Chicken
wandering.
legs,
It's
yes.
like gorillas in the mist or something. You know, it's
So
pretty
what was your
tragic.
impression of a gay sport?
Well, I would have said something like, I want to talk about this more synchronised swimming. It could be awfully
Knew
gay,
it was
especially.
coming.
But see, I don't think they let the guys do it. I think it's just the girls.
Yeah, they can get easy.
I don't think the boys get a chance. I mean, imagine how much waxing would be involved.
I don't think there's a male division.
Well, who wants to see two hairy little pins? You know.
Cycles.
No, they don't. They wax and they.
Yeah, they wax. They do
That's
that.
what I mean. I think it'd be a prerequisite that they'd have to wax.
Oh, yeah.
It'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
one of like the judging points for waxing.
I imagine it would.
Presentation or something.
Brazilian.
Oh, I tell you, someone would make a fortune. They'd hit the chemist one day in bulk. Well,
They would.
That
Did you
makes
know,
it look
though,
bigger
that-
in the costume.
well, synchronised swimming is actually the one thing at the Commonwealth Games you cannot buy a ticket for. Love or money.
Bugger.
Maybe Melbourne's just a very gay town.
Could be, but it's not. Maybe
Oh,
it's not
I
coming
love
from
them in their
Sydney.
togs and their
But people
formations.
are always putting down the synchronised swimming, aren't they? They're
But
always...
yet it's sold out.
That it's not really a real sport is one
sport.
that I usually hear.
Well, if it's sold, but then it's again, look, that's like dance sport.
Correct.
It's like-
That's right.
Ballroom dancing, when people say it's not a sport,
But
but
it
those
is.
people are athletes.
They're
They work
athletes.
hard
They
for
work
it.
very hard for it. You have to be very fit to.
And generally very cute.
And
Yes. Just because it's aesthetically pleasing doesn't mean it's not a sport.
Well, I haven't seen an ugly ballroom dancer. I really
True. No,
haven't.
very true. No, this is true.
And even on Dancing with the Stars,
Now.
last year, Brody, Holland, oh my God.
Goodness, now. It's not a perfect
See,
one.
that's my problem with Dancing with the Stars this year. There's no real
Cute ones.
There's that weather guy. He's quite
yeah,
cute.
Grant Daniel,
But he's a bit
Channel
short.
7.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I've seen him. He walks down Chapel Street quite a fair bit when he's in Melbourne.
Oh, does
He's
he?
like this high. I
know.
expect him to be in a rubbish tin looking for quartz or something.
She's terrible, isn't she? She's terribly mean. Well, do you have a favour in the Commonwealth Games? Like, there's only about 15 events. There's not.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a lot within swimming, and a lot within athletics, but like they don't do like the raft of events that like they do at the
No.
Olympics.
Oh, the diving would be nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
they do look awfully cute on the diving.
They do. And Ian Thorpe's not in it this year, we've noticed
Thank
that.
God. I'm so over Ian Thorpe. Torpedo and all that.
Well, I had to bring it up, come on.
And all this talk about his foot size and all the rest of it, it's not true, by the way.
It's not.
No.
Not that I can say.
He's very sensitive about the foot
personal
size,
knowledge.
though.
It's
That's
not from
right.
personal
I've been
knowledge.
told if you point out how big his feet are, he gets quite upset. He doesn't like having big feet.
Why not?
I don't know, but yeah, there's been. I was listening to an anecdote by a journalist a couple of years ago, and she was saying that she pointed it out casually, and he got really upset.
Perhaps
And
the
his
association's
people,
just a fallacy for him.
his people
Unlike
told
that
her
athlete,
stay
what's
off
that
it.
guy that, you know, there's that famous
Matt
video.
Shavington.
Oh, hello.
Oh, did we see that? I think we all saw that one.
That spam thing that everyone said around to each other is. I'm not going to go
No, we
there.
won't go quick
No,
to
we
that,
won't get
I
into
watched that
scandal
on-
and gossip.
I watched that on a continuous loop for about an hour.
Michael, we're tasteful, thank you.
I know. You know. Oh, quickly, because we're running out of time. Paratroopers. Did you hear that story about the US paratroopers?
There were 7 of them, weren't there?
Yes, and they did some sort of like gay
wasn't it?
pornography
Yeah.
video. Well, video went onto the internet.
That's right.
And 4 of them or something got...
4 got demoted apparently, and 3 were court-martialed.
Well, they really wanted to get rid of all 7.
Yeah, they did. They're pushing for the all 7
it was
So
court-martialed.
what was the issue? Was it because they did a porn film and identified where they were from and what
No, they didn't
organisation they were
identify it, but
affiliated
it was on a uniform site,
site.
so they must have been like undressing from uniform.
Oh.
But it was gay. There was a bit of sodomy going
that was
on.
the problem.
that's a
So
horrible
they were
thing.
annoyed about the homosexual
The
content.
association.
I think so. I think
Not
that's
just
that
that they
whole...
would-
I do, I don't. I mean, don't say and don't tell or whatever it is.
Don't
ask,
ask, don't tell.
That's
Yeah,
the one,
that's the
yes,
one.
yes.
So I thought that was actually quite interesting that, you know.
Very.
And again, I'll be Googling that next week, trying to track that one
Do
down.
let us know, won't you, Michael?
I'll be forwarding that on to some
all hands on
personal
deck.
friends. We have to talk about this Bill of Rights.
Very important.
Yes.
Funnily enough, High Court Judge Justice Michael Kirby, actually at the Jimmy Somerville concert, there was it's a video intro by Justice Michael Kirby.
yes.
But this week he was also talking to the Law Foundation in London or whatever, basically calling on Australia to get its act together and get a civil rights charter. Because basically he's
the
saying that,
American Constitution.
well, yeah, Australia is one of the only modern Western countries in the world who doesn't have a charter of rights, of human rights.
Yes, which does make us sitting ducks for those rights to be violated because they're unspoken. They're not actually written down
that's
and
correct.
enforceable in any way.
That's right, and there's been a lot of controversy this week with comments that Costello made at, I think,
few.
Dr. Phelps,
Karen
Yes,
Phelps, is it
Karen
Karen?
Phelps.
put a question to him last
Costello,
week,
yes.
and he turned around and basically said, I'm paraphrasing, well, you have rights, at least it's decriminalised sort of thing.
Yes,
It's
exactly. Well, that's not just enough, is it?
I don't think decriminalisation is enough. I think, yes, you can be thankful that homosexual
and
relationships
legalisation should
are
follow suit.
decriminalised. However, they shouldn't have been criminalised in the first place.
Well, that's actually, I'll just quickly mention that.
How long ago did that happen? I think it's a long time overdue to put another
Take
foot
a
in
step
front of that
forward,
one.
That's right.
Well, there's lots going on in that respect. There's Deputy Shadow Attorney General Nicola Roxon. She's putting forward a bill that's got to do with discrimination on sexual grounds, but it's got nothing to do with, for example, gay marriage or anything like that.
That's right.
But what I found more interesting is the Queensland Liberal member, Warren Encht, I think is his name.
yeah, nice
He is putting
pronunciation.
something together about gay marriage. There seems to be a groundswell of members, Petro Georgiou, people like that, who are quite on about equal rights. But Warren Ensch is still saying that he's I'm a card-carrying, motorbike riding, heterosexual man.
It's very butch.
But his argument is basically that, look, I'm not into whether you're gay or not, I'm not into Mardi Gras and, to quote, all that stuff. But what he's,
stuff,
well, he's into, well, I don't know. I suppose what we do when the bedroom door's shut.
Now, that's stuff.
But no, he's got a point in that all he's on about is equal treatment for everyone under the law. So there's just one law for
It's all
everybody.
about equality.
That's fair enough.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's my say.
Well, you had your
That's
soapbox
Michael's
this
soapbox.
week.
Yep,
That's
I've had my
Michael's
soapbox
for
this week.
Actual
Thank
what
you,
happened.
Erica. Thank you, Kris.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Michael.
Michael.
And thank you right
we'll
there.
see you with another Q View on another Studio Q another time. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Vic Perri and I'm with the wonderful Tim McKew. Welcome to the program, Tim.
It's wonderful to be here, Vic.
Yeah, you've got a great show coming up, but before we talk about that, what have you been up to? It's been a while.
Oh, just changing psychiatrists.
Oh yeah, what's the conclusion? Are you
Oh, they're all
sane or
mad.
insane?
They're all mad.
They are. So what's the last show that you've done?
The last show I did was at Montsalvat, which was last year.
That would have been a beautiful setting too.
Yes, in the Great Hall.
And did you do what you usually do?
Yes,
Sing
yes,
and
yes, and
tell jokes? And
This time doing our jazz repertoire for the punters, and it was very, very pleasant. And we we're doing another one down there in a couple of weeks. So.
Oh, okay, so you're going to be busy then, apart from the show.
Sorry, not down there, but in Inverloch, doing another jazz gig.
Okay, Inverloch. So
Yes.
you travel quite a bit around the state
Yeah,
then?
we go with workers. Yeah.
And the one at Montsalvat, is it, are these shows on your own or do you work with other people?
This was with my one man. Yes.
And how many years have you been doing
I've
this?
been performing now since I was a wee little one. When I was 10 years old, I used to be on telly with Deborah Byrne and Jamie Redfern.
Young talent time?
No, Brian and the Juniors. Brian and the Juniors.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Liberace should have chose me.
And
I never got over it.
You've seemed to do a few sort of program or shows in the sort of wider community as opposed to the queer community. But what sort of proportion?
Bit of both.
Bit of both?
Yeah. Well, I did my CD launch a few years ago, which was on at Chapel Off Chapel, and yes, did a lot of stuff for the festival, and yeah. I mean,
how did that go?
Very well. I'm always mixing them. You know, you've got to sort of spread your net, as it were, and try to make a living. So.
How do you find it these days with the sort of the advent of the way technology is going? Do you still have see an audience for live a cabaret in particular?
Sure. Well, I mean, cabaret has had a resurgence. So there is an audience out there, but it's just a matter of tapping into the right demographic.
And what sort of demographic?
Well, you go.
Any young people?
Well, yeah. Well, young people are coming to cabaret now, which is, it's a whole new generation that's coming up. And there are venues. There are limited venues. I mean, I think it's still hard. I mean, you do have to tour around if you want to make a decent living.
Yep.
Yes, you don't give up your day job.
So you've got a show coming up.
I do.
At the Incinerator?
The Incinerator Arts Centre.
In Moonee Valley, yeah.
Tim McKew toasts Noel Coward at the Incinerator.
On an appropriate title there.
That's right.
And what are you going to be doing?
Well, I'll be playing Noel Coward, dear boy.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful that they've flown me out for the games. But the only torch I'll be holding is a flaming sambuca.
I'll agree to that, sure. In fact, you'll be seeing on the poster, we'll be showing the poster any minute now. You are actually holding up, is that sambuca or a martini?
It's a pretend sambuca.
A pretend sambuca. And what are the dates?
The dates are the 22nd, 23rd, 24th and 25th of March. It's the last week of the Commonwealth Games. At the Incinerator Arts Centre, 180 Holmes Road, Moonee Ponds.
Or they could call the city of Moonee Valley.
They could call the city of Moonee Valley, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about this show. It's my first Melbourne season with the Noel Coward, and we'll be doing many of his most loved songs and a few little surprises where Poor Little Rich Girl is about Paris Hilton. As Stephen Fry said, anyone who names herself after a hotel, you have to be wary of.
They're a bit sus, yeah.
But maybe Sophie Savoy or Alison Algonquin. But Paris Hilton, I say, Paris burning. Bring her to the incinerator now.
Fantastic. It's going to be a great show, I'm sure.
It's going to be fun.
And I'm sure you'll get enough people in the queer community. There'll be plenty of fans.
Come over to Moonee Ponds and...
yes, it's not that far across the river, just in case anyone south of the river is wondering where it is.
Walter Burley Griffin Incinerator.
I just remember Dame Average. Where did she come from?
Yes, well, we're hoping to... anyway, I'm trying to track down Barry Humphrey's manager so I can invite Barry along to join in the festivities.
There's another reason to be there, because you might bump into Barry and have a drink with him after the show.
She might be there.
You never know.
So.
All right, well, thanks very much for coming in,
pleasure,
Tim.
Vic.
So, you'll see the number there if you want to book any tickets on the post there. And how are tickets going so far?
Tickets are going quite good, So the booking number is on the post.
But it'll be booked out, so you won't want to wait too long.
That's right. So let the games begin.
Thank you very much, Tim. I'm Vic Perri.
Thank you for having me.
So,
Thank you. Good
bye.
I go to the gym, I do yoga, I swim. I jog around the block, count my miles on the clock. I eat low-fat cheese and I do Pilates. I play lots of sports, bounce my balls on the court. If ever I float, stick my finger down my throat. I'm trying every diet, but my food I despise. I've done it for so long, something is wrong. What's passing my life? I take a good night. And I just eat cake. Oh, I lift lots of weights and I do the hippie shake. I do the hippie shake, shake, shake. And I'm trying to be great and put less on my plate. Just like Jenny Craig, but God, I'm a fake. Want to wear my pants at night, but what's happened to this? I try to put up a fight, but they're so goddamn tight. Think that I'll be alright till I go another night. I've done this for so long, so something is wrong. What's passing my life? I take a good night. And I just see cake. I just see cake. Run to run. It's Boston Bun. And that's just the one I want to so cry. It's Pavlova. And that's just the hard top left to play. Life isn't fair. I'm not gonna share. I'm in the space. I don't give me no steak. I just want cake. 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 And I do the hippie shake, I do the hippie shake, shake, shake. And I'm trying to be great and put less on my plate. Just like Jenny Craig, but God, I'm afraid. Want to wear my pants tonight, but what's happened to their side? I put up a fight, but they're so goddamn tight. Think that I'll be alright till I come. And I'm a sign. I've done this for so long, but still something is wrong. Some nights in my life, I take a good night.
You've just heard the sounds of The Minority, the new big thing at the moment in queer/alternative rock here in Melbourne, and we're here with Mel and Kev. How are you going?
Yeah, how are you?
As I say, it sounds like a bit like a suburban married couple, doesn't it? But I'm sure.
Well, we practically are.
Yes. Woo!
Without the sex.
TMI. Now, I believe you guys, saying you're almost family, you have been together a fair while, haven't you, in various capacities. Where did you all discover each other?
Weirdly enough, we started at drama school together. So we all met. We'd sort of had friendships off and on, and then realised that we had a musical interest after uni and came together and did a bit of jamming and went from there. So.
So you were all aspiring actors at some point?
Yeah, we all were, all four of us met there, and yeah, sort of slowly realised that no, music is what we've kind of got more of an interest in now. So
yeah, it's very odd. We did, like, some of us sort of studied, well, most of us studied music of some form when we were younger as well as drama, so a bit of a combination there, yeah, so it's good.
They often tend to overlap, don't they, the acting and music, but what really decides you? What's the deciding moment, the catalyst where you think, no, it's not acting, it's music?
I think, personally for me, it's a creative thing. You create on your own terms. I mean, like with the drumming and stuff, it's just expression at its highest form. So with the acting, you have a lot of boundaries and everything. Yeah, you have a lot of boundaries, but you know, and limits and stuff. But with the music, you can just be free and do whatever the heck you want, and it's great. Yeah.
What about yourself, Kevin?
I think for me it's kind of the same. I think before I even decided I wanted to get into acting, I've always had a love for music. From a very early age, I was a bit obsessed, a bit of a geek really, like sat in my room making mixtapes and, you know, all that stuff.
Oh, you too?
Yeah. So, yeah, loved music from a very early age and got a really eclectic sort of music collection and taste. So I think we all do, so that's what kind of works as well, because we all
we come
from different styles.
Yeah, we certainly do. We all come from each part of the earth with their music styles, which is great, because when we come to write together as a collaboration, it's just insane. Like it's all different versions and different things happening. It's great. Yeah.
He mentioned that liberation side of it when you're on the drums. You really do see that you're just, you know, letting rip.
I think from the acting we take on characters, which is we've sort of created this whole theatrical rock thing because it's a performance as well as creating great music. It's about performing and entertaining, and that's what we kind of do. We create these characters, and I'm sort of like Animal from the Muppets. You know, so it's all very good.
So which Muppet do you identify with?
I don't know if I identify myself as a Muppet. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'll have to work on that one. I think maybe Miss Piggy. I don't know. But
I could see you in Pearls and Sequins.
Yeah, well,
certainly.
You know, behind the scenes, maybe.
So you all play a part in the writing process, don't you?
Yeah.
So do you have this thing? I mean, you hear musicians say, "Oh, I woke up in the middle of the night and had an idea." Is that for real, or do you just get together at a certain time and say, "Right, let's get down to it"?
Yeah, we kind of we all sort of come together, and we've all had ideas previously. We may have written lyrics or songs. Some of us work together as well, so we find sometimes we'll run up to each other, "Oh, we've got this idea." So yeah, it's always a constant creative process.
Yeah, it's not just in the rehearsal process that someone will, as you say, have an epiphany in a dream or in the car or whatever, and bring it to the table, and we'll work on it, sort of thing.
So did you had any pieces you brought, like before you had gotten together, any pieces that you brought that you'd written yourselves? And
sort of, for me, I found I got really inspired once we'd come together, and I went, oh, okay, because when you're writing by yourself and you're not in a band, like, you're constantly writing stuff and there's no one to sort of go up to and say, does this work? So once we came together, it just kept going and going. It was like this own sort of energy force, and you're just constantly putting into it, so it's great.
Wow. And it's a hackneyed old question, but musical influences. For instance, when you were sitting in your room putting these mixtapes together, who were you putting together?
Oh, well, some of the ones in like the late 80s, early 90s, I don't know if I would admit on camera. But
go on. How much Stock Aitken and Waterman did you have on tape?
I don't know. It's gone from my memory at some point. But I guess my major influences, like, I've always been a fan of like the Chili Peppers and I don't know, Placebo, Dandy Warhols and stuff like that. Yeah.
What about yourself?
A bit of a Queen fan, and just any 80s. Like I kind of really grew up in the 80s and found that there was all these one-hit wonders, and you just kind of, you know, like I had grade 6 Paula Abdul, you know, all sorts of. There's all sorts of things. Kevin Page, Don't Shut Me Out, you know, anything like that. I was so into any kind of music. So, and my parents were very heavily into music as well. So, So. It just stemmed, I don't know, like nowadays it's more like Scissor Sisters and The Darkness, that sort of crazy out there sort of music for me, which is, I love.
Fantastic. When you got together, did you sort of consciously think, oh, we want to create a queer identified band, or was it just coincidence or however?
It kind of like, you know, we sort of thought that was a concept at the start, but that's kind of just part of it now. It's part of who we are. We sort of just go with the flow, and, you know, sometimes it's there and really obvious, and sometimes it's not, and that's really shown in our songs as well. So it's a part of who we are, so we just sort of promote that fact, you know, that's sort of there.
Yeah, we don't hide it, but we don't go, this is all we're about, you know.
Yeah.
But obviously, I mean, we appeal to a wide audience, I think, but it's definitely part of who we are, so that's why it's there in our songs as well.
Yeah.
So fairly big queer following.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
And what we hope, getting bigger after. Because you have got a night coming up, a regular night, haven't you? Regular gig. Tell us about that.
It's called The Dirty Minx, and it is the first Saturday of every month. It's at the Barleycorn Hotel, which the address is
177 Johnston Street in Collingwood.
Yeah, so come along. It starts from 10. We've got live music as well as dance music to appeal to sort of everyone. So
yeah, it's like a mixed crowd, and it's just a relaxed atmosphere.
Because you've
a lot of fun.
We've always found that there's like, you either go to a club or a bar or whatever and there's live music, or you go and there's sort of dance music, you know, and we're kind of combining the two because we're sort of combining the whole community and everyone, you know, just to come along and have a boogie and have some fun.
For that read north side of the river combining with south side. Pretty much.
Exactly. Because a lot of the stuff's over sort of, you know, Chapel Street, Commercial Road, over that side, where we're trying to kind of get the other side out as well and, you know, have that happening there as well. So
good on you. Well, the best of luck with it.
Check out our website too if you're interested, just theminority.com.au.
Minority.com.au, isn't it?
Get some details.
No worries. And I believe there is an album around the place.
Yep, it's a 4-track EP.
Yeah, we've got an EP which is available from the website, and yeah, looking at working on the first single, the film clip, and hopefully an album down the track. Obviously, yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for letting us sit in on your rehearsals, and we hope to hear a lot more of you very soon, all around. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.